Briggs. You for joining us. All right. Yeah, they slept all day and now they're tearing the place apart. You already tore the background down. Well, I'll try to do it a second time, but I got it back up for now. I have another background I'm going to test out. Um, I don't know when I'll get around to that though. All right, so this is Ukraine, U.S. Ukraine invasion. Basically, it feels. I mean, that doesn't mean this is going to happen, but it does feel like the U.S. wants to get involved with this. But they probably won't, but they might. Look who's yeah. Anything better to do? Do you have anything better to do? Cat abuse. Yeah, yeah. She's scoping out the place. It looks like. So yeah. So U.S. Ukraine invasion feels maybe not anytime soon. You never know. I'm just bringing it up because it might happen. I do feel like they're thinking about it. Obviously, it's a military, U.S. military needs something to do with themselves. They're just sitting around aching to go after somebody. So you have all that military hardware, they're just going to sit on it. Just let a war go to waste. They just come up with some BS idea why we need to get involved. You never know. We'll just have to wait and see. It might take a while for that. Months, 6 months, something like that. Jeez. Yeah, these two have been sleeping all day, and now it's like they want the land of chaos. And also Planet Chaos April edition. So it's different. So basically, we're like avatars, we're characters in this world. Our soul chose characteristics and all this, so we're just part of the play, of reality, whatever you can call this. Planet Chaos is a theater show, night at Earth Theater. So it shows the way we look and everything. Maybe sometimes we choose our name, sometimes we don't. And it's how you come into this world, what you do with it. I mean, what you come here with a theme, you come in, when you enter into this world, you have all these contracts. So obviously you agreed upon them, you reject some of them, but either way, you're on a contract lifetime. And then in the middle, right when you get everything kind of figured out, you get into your 20s, 30s, you get a job, you become a slave to reality, whatever it might be. In the middle of your life, it's like you do whatever you want. Some people do that early in life. Sometimes they regret it. But believe whatever you want, do whatever you want. Just whatever works for you. Some people feel like spirituality is the only way to go. The rest of the world would disagree with that. And there's a lot of judgment. A lot of spiritual people that are involved or evolving can be kind of judgmental to those that are physical people. Feel like everything's fake, the news is fake, yada yada yada. But realize people that are spiritual are not the majority. So the majority believes it's all real, so that's their deal. I mean, to them it's real, so it's real. So calling it fake and all that, it just doesn't work in your reality. That's all. But either way, you throw all this stuff in your life, in your middle of your life, you just do whatever you want. Believe whatever you want, whatever gets you through life. And then when you exit, that's a big deal because it's how you leave. So it's how you're closing shop, you're closing out connections before you take off into the astral realms or wherever. So I know some people are like, oh, this is the truth. This is the truth. That's the truth. cares? Whatever works for you. Yeah, whatever your truth it matters, and that's fine. Whatever you feel is right to get you through all this. That's all that matters. Everyone else, whatever people think, doesn't really matter. Obviously, it's difficult here. Obviously, it's a chaos world. It's not going to get better anytime soon. I know people think the positive's coming in. They don't really see much of that. You have a war in Ukraine. You have a president that's Biden. That's if he wins the next election, I'm okay with that. If he's going to live forever, go for it. We just have a skeleton for a president. That's all. Screw it. We already have Nancy Pelosi. She's a creature. So, if you want to live forever, let him live forever. We'll see him do it. It comes to the creature of the night, immortal of chaos. I know so many people are putting all this energy into Trump, and that's fine. If that works for you, I don't think Trump cares or whatever. I don't think he's doing anything. I think Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats are running everything right now. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Really. Who cares? You just have planet chaos, and when you understand planet chaos, things can get a little bit easier. It's just some people need chaos here. Yeah, it brings out the devil within them, and it really does, actually. It's kind of messed up, though. Yeah, some people, this is so obviously for some individuals, this is their paradise. God help us. Yeah, I guess they have a thing for mediocrity, but that's okay. An Earth One channeling, basically, this is kind of like Earth One, I guess, is our version of Earth. You've heard of Earth 2, Earth 3, Earth 4. So this is Earth 1, technically. Well, because we're here as Earth 1. So, and what that means, whatever it means, you can't make everybody happy. Just ride the wave, ride the chaotic ways. We got Biden there. It's just. I know some people feel like he's in there to wake people up, and he technically is. But also, he's not here to help us either. But it just shows that the chaotic energy is truly here, and it's not going anywhere. So if people wonder if it's that bad here, it's that bad. I think it's worse, actually. But you don't have to think about that. Just concentrate on yourself. All right, so we have time to come. We have private sessions. We have the shop here. I'm on the 20th. Same situation here. We have the webinar, social networking, behind the scenes, and we have the conference coming up scheduled. This is in person, of course, not by Zoom. Unless you want it by Zoom, I'll be there. But if you want it by Zoom, that's cool. I'll go in the other room or something. Or what? I'll be there. I'll bring my cats. Bring my picture of Joe Biden as a skeleton. So, yeah. So obviously, life is whatever make it. Of course, you all get tired of it, but jeez. I don't think it's going to get any better. I know people think this positive reality is coming in, but do you see any signs of it? I know the White Hats have cleared out the underground bases. Not that we've seen any proof of that, but sure. Sure, why not? Now, for our next presidency, we'll have another robotic president. Oh, if Biden wins another term, why not? Okay. It's like, screw it. We'll just see how far they go with this. And I don't think Trump is anybody's savior, though. It's not good to put energy in these people. It's all just here to mess with us. It's all screwed up. So, all right, going to, I guess we're going into Ukraine energy. If there's anything to go into there. But yeah, the U.S. and the Ukrainians feel like a possibility. like I said, they have all that armory. They have itchy, trigger fingers, man. They need something to do. They have Lockheed Martin and all that crazy weaponry. It's like, why not? It's messed up. Yeah, because they might find a way to go there. They'll come up though. I mean, they already did this whole virus situation that throw that down our throats. I can see them come up with some convoluted reason to go into Ukraine. So we just have to wait and see. So, all right. Connect to Ukraine energies and see what I get from that. I'm not expecting a whole lot from that, but you never know. And I'm going to Planet Chaos, the April edition, and Earth One. Earth One is kind of basically what this world is about, things like that. Maybe go into some details of that. Okay, all right. Greetings. We are Ukraine consciousness is also reptilian energies. There is, yes, of course, many agendas. Many beings do not trust each other. This is a galactic war. Humanity is just, yes, not trusting each other. There's many alien extraterrestrial beings that are connected to this earth that still will have a grudge against each other. And yes, they create these false governments to hide the galactic presence that's here, to do a human war. So there's always an alien presence behind all of these guys, all of them, as you know. It doesn't mean it'll be fully revealed as of yet, because humanity is still part of the program. Because the human program here is created so well, the Matrix program, the program to keep humans shut down. And there's a lot of, it's deprogramming humanity from this third dimension. The third dimension will basically lose itself. It won't be, the physical realm won't be physical anymore. It'll be non-physical. Well, it'll be less physical. It'll be less dense. And of course, the war here is to keep people shut down. They chose that. They chose to experience it. Now, yes, there might be some slavery energies to it. So technically, you are seeing human slavery now, where many of them are enslaved to their jobs, their reality that they chose. But, even if you have a family, you're kind of enslaved to your family now, responsibilities, hard to release yourself from that. So there's different versions of what you call slavery, as many of you know. Like your 9-to-5 job could be also slavery energy too. So trying to heal the slaves, the human trafficking, but what about the slaves that you see in the modern world? The everyday life, going to your job 9 to 5, that's a human slavery frequency. So it's, yes, a difficult reality that's been built here. And why is that? Is because it's filling a lot of gaps within the universe. Beings that are, well, first of all, there are beings here that want to show that they can control reality better than others and just truly hold on to worlds, show how talented they are. And yes, you can beat the system, but you have to go with it to win. You play by its rules, but then you get to certain levels where you're allowed to know more. So those that live in the comfort life aren't always going to know what's happening here, but those that kind of live kind of hellish lives sometimes a little bit more indication of how this is all put together. So someone to live the good life, but on this world it's still a slavery life. So it's up to you to heal that. To look beyond your comfort zone and see what else is here. Well, the comfort life is kind of like a shielding from negativity, but doesn't mean there's still not negativity around here. Eventually, the beings that we've seen here over time. They don't want to be seen here. The alien beings do not want to be seen because that this whole system will fall apart. They've spent, thousands of years keeping this world shut down. They're not about to turn it the other way. It's not just about the lessons. There are many selfish alien beings that are here. And they're learning their lessons here through you. So they cause you trouble, cause you chaotic timelines, and that reflects back to them. So yeah, this is not as simple as people might think. Some are having trouble believing anything or believing this or that. Well, that means they have a long way. You don't have to believe anything, but they're trying to figure all this out, and they end up figuring out there's impossible to figure everything out. Doesn't mean you won't figure something out, but it's not made to be figured out. It's made to experience. You, of course, go deeper into it, what it's about here, what you need to find here, basically. It's usually what you find about, you learn about yourself, basically. Through all this, you learn more about yourself. It's like climbing a mountain, and you just learn other talents. You go deeper into who you are by just being here. And yeah, you might be going into chapters, pages within yourself that you might not like, was areas of yourself that you're not used to, because other dimensions don't tap into these lower frequencies like this. So you come here to see, yes, the darker side. And of course, you bring the lighter side in. It's a balance, but usually it's an uneven balance, meaning it's difficult to balance one's energies here. It can be done. Well, those that feel like they're balancing their frequencies here don't want to see the darkness here. But see, the darkness has knowledge there. You might not always be ready for that knowledge. What's this? Greetings. Well, there are Arcturians, blessings. The reason we come into, yes, often is because we're here to bring some kind of relaxing frequency for people to figure themselves out. Of course, there's also an Andromeda energy here, Pleiadian frequencies, Sirian, and so on. The Sirians can get quite dense here. So, yes, your April 12th, April 5th, yes, April 12th to 15th. Yes, many of your awaits are planning on, yes, the next stage of your timeline, agendas galore. Some of it has to do with the medical field, not all of it, but there is a medical energy that's connected to it at this time from what we're seeing. And of course, they have many things lined up for your year. Basically, for what humans are here for, one of the reasons is, yes, to heal the darkness within yourself, but also to, yes, upgrade, to actually bring an upgrade into this realm, bring your astral knowledge here, which is sometimes extremely difficult. It's kind of like exposing yourself to a certain level, meaning that you can open up another side of yourself here where you're not always feeling comfortable, but basically like expressing yourself more, things like that. You talk about the alien energies and all of this. This is kind of exposing yourself a little bit. It's kind of a vulnerability there, a little bit. And it's very fragile energy that this earth needs to hear. Basically, to remember its spiritual self. It's, the spirit realms have been shut off for such a long time. Yeah, everything, the Bible has a version of the spiritual world, but obviously it's more of a human physical reality of it. The astral world has been pretty much shut off for the most part. Some of the Book of Enoch has a little bit of astral knowledge. Buddhism has some astral knowledge. Even your Quran has some astral energies too. But for the most part, the spirit realm has been caged off from your reality, obviously, to get souls to reincarnate here over and over again, to get what they need out of here. Yes, to have a short life. It's like Okay, I've lived everything I need to. I'll live a short life, and then you incarnate and come back here for a longer life. It all depends. You have more connections to your destiny than you might realize. And yes, you're not always going to, your higher self isn't going to give you your full knowledge here. Of course not. It's like baking in the sun. It's like, I think I'm charred enough. Is it time to go? It's like, not yet. So basically, you're going deeper into your consciousness. You might bring out more darkness within yourself, but that was the point. Not to cause violence or anything like that, but to just let your darkness be released here. Obviously, many are trying to hide from it, which is very common. There's a great deal of that. It's more common than you might think, at least in the spiritual communities. There's a deep level of running away from themselves. Well, they're not always aware that they're doing it. Others are teaching you not to see your darker self, because when you see more of the darker side of yourself, it's you actually complete what this world has to teach you. You learn its curriculum. You don't have to be here anymore. You've learned what it has to teach you. Obviously, many feel like they've learned all the lessons here. That might be true to a certain level, but there's always something new you can learn. It's like teaching an old dog new tricks. There's always something here you can learn, but yeah, it doesn't mean you've learned all of the lessons here. You've probably been through everything that this world has to offer. It doesn't mean you've learned it all, but it doesn't mean that you're here to experience all of it. Yeah, it's very confusing. Meaning you can have a lifetime. You've had all the relationships, you've had all the war, you've had the artistic lifetimes, you've had the rich lifetimes, you have the poor lifetimes, and now this lifetime you feel like an alien because you're not part of anything normal what other people are part of. And that is that alone is a very difficult incarnation. So this is kind of cryptic. Also, this message isn't for everybody, but those that are experiencing right now feel that they feel like they're an alien on their own world. That they're more alien than just they don't really fit with these timelines at all. But you came here for a reason. Obviously, not going to go into details of that. But your April energy is a time of transition. Of course, every month is part of transition, but April is, yes, your Easter month. It's connected to your elite frequencies of basically like a false reality or a false religion. There is, of course, it's true religion, but basically that's false ideas in it, of course. Two, yes, agendas. The Bible is basically a book of agendas. And obviously, many are still learning from it. Well, many have profited off the Bible, so of course they're going to connect with it. You probably have noticed that those that are very wealthy that talk about the Bible, that are very wealthy, and they incarnate over and over again. That's an archon incarnation cycle. So this is. Greetings. I am the Earth's higher self. You can say I'm connected to Mother Earth, but I'm actually connected to all of you. Mother Earth is just a part of all this, of course. But you're the ones that are going through all of this with blinders on, yes, not unaware of your surroundings. And that is huge. Yes, it's like you incarnated into a world where you can't see the road very clearly, but you are driving down it. Well, the Earth can see things very clearly. She might not like what she's seeing, but she sees it. She can also take different forms: a bird, a snail. She can take all the different, a tree. She can take all of these different forms, and many of you can too. But this version of Earth that you incarnated in has been one that's been stuck for a very long time. Meaning that why many of you incarnate here, because just to nudge it just a little bit out of its cycle of doing the same thing over and over and over again. As you can see, society, it usually because society is the chakra of many people have been shut down to a certain way, at least more amnesia is poured into their energy field. So yes, very much trickery that's been done here to keep people a part of this system. Of course, there's a lot you can learn from it. There's a lot of envy for others that are wealthy. Of course, the wealthy envy those that are poor. Well, because the wealthy feel like they have no soul. Some don't even have a soul. I mean, yes, they might have some kind of consciousness, but a lot of them forgot morality a long time ago. So, especially, yeah, some of the wealthy elites are becoming sociopaths. Another reason why some of you do not become incarnated as rich is because a darker side of you can lose control of yourselves. That's why I didn't do it. So, wow, I remember being rich in this other lifetime. Do you remember the other part of that though? So sometimes it's better not to have anything. Some can handle wealth, some can't. Some get power hungry, ego takes over, and so on. There's nothing wrong with those things. Society doesn't, do you need to put yourself through that? It is part of the experience. This world has found the darkness of other worlds and brought it here. And so you're helping Saturn heal itself. Not that you need to pat yourself on the back for that, but Saturn's going through a great deal. So another reason, and Mars, of course, Mars is pretty much here. Saturn is not always knowing how to heal itself. So yes, it's connected to many occult energies because it has a higher knowledge of how the human consciousness works. Obviously, they can manipulate your reality very easily and control society, but you're also here to, heal their frequency to help them let go of this reality. Meaning that you're here to remove some of your elites from your planet's consciousness and not to do this anymore. So humanity has more of a fighting chance. At least that's the idea. There's a lot of crying in the background. But the Earth is basically a necessary. It's always going to be here, even at this level, until humanity learns what it needs to learn here. So many of you feel the light is coming in. That's your light coming in, but many have turned their light off. Most of society has turned it off. They're on autopilot. You can tell already. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And they snap at you, things like that. Yeah, that's part of the reptilian consciousness. Not all of it's reptilian consciousness. Some of it is. Some of it's just basically you're dealing with humanity with all these different alien beings that are here that cannot get along with each other for anything. They're in human form, but obviously but this is why you're around certain people. Yeah, they can't. You're around somebody that's difficult. You're there to heal that frequency. Eventually. Or not. At least you put an attempt to do so. Yeah, because a lot of these souls get stuck here. So you're here to unstuck them, for them to have an easier transition. So some of you are around people that are very difficult. Some of you are. But you probably noticed they've gotten a little bit nicer, maybe in some form. But you're also helping them exit the planet too, where they don't have to incarnate here over and over again. Because the ones that keep coming back over and over again forget what they've learned and do the same thing over and over again. And that's why many of you came here, to end a lot of that. It's not the easiest job, of course. That's why you come here, it's like with, you know this world just has not learned its lessons. Well, at least individuals have, you can tell. And that's what makes it frustrating for yourselves. We believe some of you can feel it. You feel it, wonder why this frustration is being on this planet. It's because many here have not, they won't let go of this place. And that's the frustrating part of it. It's like, you can move on, ascend, maybe not make the world perfect, but move on from the record player that goes over, around and around and around. You can move up, upgrade. It won't be the easiest, but it'll be something new, and you can keep evolving in some form or another. Instead, this world just stands still. That's why you have wars here, to get things moving. Without going into too much detail of that. Because there's so many souls that want to just do, they just want to, life gets good and they don't want anything to change. And even a criminal can say life is good, they don't want to change. but you incarnate here to find the best way to clear the frequencies so this world can move forward. Obviously, it's like a boat in the middle of the ocean not going anywhere, where everything is now still. You're here to ruffle the waters in your own way, to bring some kind of movement. Blessings.